All right, Mr. Sal Capaccio is here at St. John Fisher. We are at training camp. 2 more practices, one today, one tomorrow, and then back to Buffalo. Training camp coverage live from St. John Fisher University is brought to you by Fiegel Car and Joyce, your border attorneys, by Outlet Liquor. When you need to stock up, it's the place to buy a case. What's your outlet? By Connors and Ferris, your workers' comp attorneys, and driven by your Upstate Honda dealers for great deals on the entire Honda lineup. Visit your Upstate Honda dealer today. Sal, you had a live post-Hard Knocks reaction show.
It was amazing. It really was. Last night, Matt Bove and I put together an Always Game Day in Buffalo live video podcast reaction show, which lives now. You can go watch it on my YouTube page at Sal Sports. We had over 8,000 people come in to watch.
Nice.
Which was unbelievable. I mean, the numbers were just skyrocketing. We had people commenting in the chat box, telling us what they liked, what they didn't like. We obviously gave our opinions about it. We went for close to an hour after the hour-long show. So I'm glad I came up here yesterday. I said, I got to go up. If I'm going to do this, I didn't want to be driving up. You guys come up early in the morning sometimes. I'm like, you know what? Let's do this. I did it from my dorm. Matt was back in Buffalo. He's coming up today. And I will tell you that what was really cool for me about the reaction from the people in the chat box, at least, right? We're not taking calls, but we're watching people like we have the bullpen now. Same thing. What was cool for me was this was kind of a new experience for a lot of people who might not watch something like Hard Knocks. Like we're Hard Knocks junkies, right? You've been watching for years. I've been watching for years. We're here every day. I said to Bulldog yesterday that I see all the stuff they're showing on the field anyway, right? I mean, that's not new to me. I watch that every day, and it's cool. What I like to see is the behind the scenes, off the field, because I don't get that with the players a lot. But the majority of viewers, the majority of viewers, they don't see that football stuff. They're not here.
Right.
They're watching the Bills on the field for the first time since January and in this setting. And I think that was super cool to learn that and watch that from a lot of people.
Gets the juices going.
It does.
It
does.
Yeah, I saw people ready to run through a wall watching Trey White run hills after practice. Like that kind of stuff. Like,
man.
That's the kind of stuff that you just – and, the camera zooms in on his leg. And I'm thinking, Achilles, is this part of his rehab for this? It's just wanting to have more confidence in it. Like, yeah, you don't know all the work that they necessarily put in, the meetings and how they're going over stuff. Babbage saying, don't touch 17.
Right.
Driving that home.
Yep.
I was wondering what hill he was on. I'm like, where? I was trying to place the hill.
Yeah.
I'm like, ooh, that's got to be behind that dorm or this building. It wasn't over there like Fairport. He's not running up a hill where Fairport Road is. I don't think that's happening, but it kind of looked like it. It's got to be one of these other kind of back roads. Anyway, for me, that was kind of cool too, Jake. Like seeing the shots, the sights. How great did this campus look?
Yeah.
How great did this campus look? The fields and the people coming in and what they do. You know what I thought about? How many teams? There's not a lot of teams that go away now. There's less than 10, I think, that go away.
It said on the show only 5 go to a college.
Only 5? Okay, so I think.
College, yeah.
Well, so I don't think that counts. Like maybe the Cowboys are in Oxnard, California. I don't know if that's a college.
The Texans this year go to
the Greenbrier,
right. West Virginia.
So so there's probably less than 10 teams that go away at all.
Yeah.
How many teams were watching this and going, I think we need to do this. Look what this does for their team. And I know the team's used to it, and then they've gone away from it.
Yeah.
The Bills have kind of kept this model when a lot of teams haven't. I wonder how many teams, how many GMs, how many owners, how many presidents of organizations are going, that's really good. Like, that works for them, and they do that right. Maybe we could learn something.
Yeah. Other takeaways? I mean, Trey White, we got to see him back, and what a story that is. Maxwell Harrison, Christian Benford featured a little bit. Of course,
really, the 3 guys they featured. If you go to Josh, Dawkins, Trey White, I know Trey left.
I thought there was 4 actually. They were stars. All right, here's why.
Palmer. Oh, there were stars. I think I know who you're.
I think Terry Pagula was a star.
Oh, okay.
I think Terry Pagula.
He was in it a lot.
He was in it, yeah.
And I think he did himself well. Right, the way he spoke about the stadium, some of the jokes he made, talking with Sean McDermott. I think people who don't hear from Terry, we don't hear from Terry, right? I mean, he doesn't really do media publicly. I think that Terry Pagula did a good job for them to say, hey, we're going to have you and mic'd up and all that, and kind of the way he presented himself and a good inside look at him that a lot of people don't get. Yeah. So I thought he was actually one of the people that shined well last night, on top of Josh Allen, Deion Dawkins, Tre'Davious White, the 3 guys they really focused on.
Who are the 3 guys who have really been here the longest, right? Yeah. Trey leaves for a year. But otherwise, the guys they featured, Sal, are like the guys that they'd probably name first as the most critical to the culture they've built.
Yeah, no doubt. You're talking about Josh Allen, right?
Allen and Dawkins, and Trey White to an extent too.
I actually had
but
notes.
Allen, of course, number
I
one.
wrote down the order in which guys appeared, and I thought that would be notable. I didn't know, right? So it was in. I don't have my note with me, but it was Allen, Dawkins, Dawson Knox,
Right.
with his wife Alex, which I thought that was a cool scene. Right away, here's Alex, and I know Dawson and Alex very well. Alex actually used to live in my neighborhood before her and Dawson were married. And we would see them every once in a while. And they're a great couple. They're having a child, their first child. They just announced they're having a girl. And to see them in that organic moment and him talking about packing his underwear, I just thought that was super cool and a great, just wholesome look.
Very relatable when she's like, you're going for 2 weeks and you have one carry-on bag? I was like, I know,
right?
What do I need? I'll be fine.
Yeah,
Very
right?
relatable.
I love that. So that was cool. And then, of course, we all know, Deion Dawkins and how gregarious he is. And, Deion came here as a young man, as all these guys have now they're getting older, that he was single and had no kids. And now you see his life and what he's about with his fiance and his kids. So, those kinds of things, I think, for me, also come full circle. Being here as long as they have been with Tre'Davious White, that was a really – we're going to hear a lot – I think we're going to see a lot more Tre'Davious. We're going to see a lot more – I think coming out of last night, I think it's Josh, and I think it's Tre'Davious as kind of a main storyline.
Yeah. Well, the main storyline in episode 2 has to be James Cook, though. I mean, James Cook. And Sal, by the time we get to episode 2, he might have a contract. You never know.
Sure.
Like the Kyren Williams deal. I wonder how you see that. We've talked about that quite a bit. Adam Schefter, he reported that many believe this had to happen for the Bills and Cook to finally get on the same page. Well, it happened. And we've spent a lot of time this morning highlighting the differences between the two players. Where with Cook, you have a superior runner of the football. He's a better, more explosive runner. He's just better at running it. But the Rams, what do they value? The guy that's on the field all the time. Kyren Williams doubled the snaps of Cook in their backfield. Has over 150 pass block reps.
He had 100. He had 153. 107 was second in the league.
Yeah, so 50% more pass blocks than anybody else in the league at running back. And the Rams paid that $11 million. So they're very different players. But could they ultimately end up in the same neighborhood?
I think so. I don't think it's unfair. I think it's a good, reasonable price probably to land. Are we talking 10 to 12, right? Somewhere in there?
About that.
Okay, so I don't think anybody you go into this process with James Cook. Is there any Bills fan who's saying, "Oh, I don't think you should even go to 10 million"? Maybe. I guess there's a few out there. That's probably about where. I think it's getting up to 15 or higher than that people probably had an issue with. There might be some people who go, "No, you don't pay running backs at all." I get that, right? If you have that philosophy. I think because if you look at the production of him compared to Saquon and CMC, and these guys are making the big money, Derrick Henry, you say he's not on that level. He's not on the field all the time. He's not doing all of that. So he's got to be a step below. Well, where's the step below? This is the step below, right? And I think when you talk about that kind of money, then you can get creative on how you can structure the deal, where you can give him 4 years and you can push some money out. He's making $5 million this year on the cap. I think even 5.8 or something like that. You can move money around to even save money this year on the cap if you need to. That feels about right to me. I don't know. I mean, is that what the Bills feel in him? So,
yeah.
I guess the best way I'd say it is I think production-wise, that feels where he belongs. The biggest question I still have is, do the Bills themselves, though, feel that for what they're paying Josh, what they're paying these other people, that is still a player in a position that they want to go to that kind of number with a player in their roster right now.
Do you think it could bring them closer to an agreement, this having a comparable in the league, a guy that is signed that is at least somewhere in the same tier as Cook? Because I feel like it could, right? Like maybe it could have them come together, but again, Sal, like their jobs are so different that maybe it could keep them as far apart as they are right now, where Cook says, I deserve more than that guy. I'm a more efficient runner, and the Bills could say, yeah, well, he plays twice as much as you.
Right, I agree with that. And it's funny, like, we don't know the full numbers, right? We only get we
have like with Cook's $15 million tweet.
No, I mean Kyren Williams.
Oh, Kyren Williams. Yeah.
What is it, 23 guaranteed?
23 guaranteed. Yeah.
Over 3 years?
Yep.
I mean, it's not a ton. It's 33 total.
Yeah.
How does that structure? Right?
Right.
What is he actually getting? Is it a lot of it's on the back end, and if they wind up getting out of it in 2 years, he's only getting $23 million?
Right.
Right? I mean, think about that for a second. Right? And what does that wind up going to? So I think you have to think about all those things together, which is, again, you can structure it differently. And then I just said It's funny. I'm thinking about this. I'm talking out loud, and I said, well, maybe the Bills this or the Bills that. How do we know James Cook feels that that's
Right.
what he wants? Maybe James Cook wants still a lot more than that, as you're saying, Joe, which is he's like, well, I'm better at this and I'm better at that. He told us in that tent right over there, he thinks he's the best running back in the NFL. And he wants to be paid like the best running back in the NFL. He didn't say top money. He didn't say that. He was indicating just amongst the top running backs.
How big a deal do you even think the pass blocking thing and the snap count actually matters to the Bills? Because, like, for the Rams, I think it's defendable. Your quarterback, he's got a back injury right now. He's old. You got to protect him, and that's why they do that. For the Bills, how much do you think it matters to them that he has some deficiencies when it comes to being a blocker back there when they have such a good offensive line, when they have a quarterback that is arguably the best ever at avoiding sacks? Like, do you think that would be the thing that keeps the Bills from getting a deal done with Cook or valuing him the way he values himself?
I think it matters to them a lot. It matters to them a ton if he's only on the field a certain amount, if he's only performing this duty or that duty. And they can say, because if you take all the money away, we're actually paying someone else to do that particular part of the job instead of you. I think it matters to the Bills a lot. I believe, Brandon Bean, you said this a little while ago. You guys know I've said this many times. Let's remind everybody. It's not the Bills don't want James Cook on the team. They want him on the team. The question is simply value. He's valued to another team. Somebody tweeted me the other day and said, well, we know exactly what his value is. It's $10 to $12 million. Everybody's done this analytics. That's not what his value is to someone else maybe. Everybody has a different value on a player based on the comps and how it fits into their particular structure. If that were the case, then the Bills would pay, I don't know, Gabe Davis, what the Jacksonville Jaguars valued him. I mean, you know what I mean? If they had that value, they would do that. So you can't go by just one blanket value. Every team is going to put a different value based on their own situation and salary cap.
You know, it's. I think that's baked in. They only value him this because he doesn't play as many snaps. If he played all the snaps, maybe they feel like he'd hurt them in pass coverage or whatever, in pass blocking. If he played all the snaps, though, he'd have like 1,600 yards. Like, his efficiency is good.
He got the ball more, too.
Yeah, that's what I mean. Like, if he got the ball more instead of somebody else. Like, I was looking at this up against Kyren Williams. I'm looking at it against Bijan Robinson, too. I mean, the top guys in the league get 345, 325, 304, 303, 316. Kyren Williams, 316 carries. Cook's over there at 207. So when you say, or anybody says, I don't think it's wrong to say it, well, he doesn't play that much. That's why they didn't want to pay him that much. That's why he's not asking for 17. Because if he played all those snaps, he might actually have the numbers to justify that.
Well, could you also say, though, could the Bills say, well, we don't do that because we don't know if he would hold up?
Sure.
Right?
They
and
could.
that would be,
Right.
and then
They could.
you're getting into length of deal as well, by the way.
And then
Right, like if we played you for what a $15 million running back, we think a $15 million running back is worth. If we played you that way, we don't think you'd make it through the season.
And you get diminishing returns, they would think.
maybe.